Episode 1 of Squid Game Season 3 picks up right after the events of Season 2. This is basically Season 2 Part 2, and we start by seeing the soldiers cornering the remaining rebelling players. Player 145 is killed. Noyul saves player 246, aka Gunsuk, by shooting him in the stomach. The triangle soldier thinks she has joined their organ trafficking team and marks 246's coffin. On the boat, the mercenaries search for the missing drone operator. Captain Park spins a story of him getting drunk and falling overboard, and loan shark Woo Seok seems to buy it. Gi-hun wakes up in the bunker surrounded by his allies. Before the voting can begin though, he causes a scene, wanting to know why he has been left alive. His spirit is broken as he accepts the frontman's victory. We then cut to In-ho drinking while watching him. He then informs Captain Park to keep the mercenaries away until the games are officially over. If things go sideways, In-ho orders him to kill everyone, including Jun-ho. He then orders the officer to fix the place as the VIPs are arriving soon. The voting resumes, but Gi-hun forfeits his turn. As usual, the blue team heckles the red team, and to no one's surprise, the game continues. Player 100 thinks the failed rebellion was Gi-hun's strategy to kill off players and increase the prize money. Meanwhile, the shaman declares that Gi-hun will never escape the ghosts of his dead friends. This is what brings him out of his stupor, and he chokes her before being pushed off. Meanwhile, Noyul arrives at the workroom just before the doctor can cut into 246. She threatens them, but they shoot back and she ends up killing the soldiers. The doctor begs for his life and she orders him to save 246. As the players eat, Minsu watches 124 take Thanos' pills. Myungi gives his meal to Jun-hee, while Daeho avoids everyone. Gwimja, Yeon-sik, and Hyun-ju check in on Gi-hun. Hyun-ju apologizes for the failed rebellion, but Yeon-sik blames Daeho, revealing his betrayal to Gi-hun. Once they leave, Gi-hun turns to watch Daeho eating enthusiastically. The mercenaries stop at a port, and Woo-seok brings Jun-ho some drinks. Alone, Woo-seok finally reveals that Captain Park was holding a screwdriver when the operator fell off the boat, and something is off about him. However, Jun-ho refuses to believe the man who saved him and entertained his island hunt for years would actually sabotage him. Instead, he blames Woo-seok for drinking with the drone operator. In the bunker, Gi-hun continues to watch Daeho, who finally notices him and feels unsettled. Just then, the VIPs arrive and the fourth game is introduced. As the players are led out, they find the dead rebels strung up. Daeho is nervous as he sees Jung-bae's corpse and then Gi-hun glaring at him. In the workroom, the doctor stitches 246 up. However, he remarks that the guy has lost a lot of blood. Noyul orders the doctor to use her blood for a transfusion. However, she keeps a gun on him at all times to avoid any funny business. Back to the game, it turns out we're going to be playing a game of hide and seek. The players are divided into two teams at random. The blue team hides and is given a key that can unlock any door, but cannot relock it. It's also worth noting here that these keys have different symbols on them, one for a square, one for a triangle, and one for a circle.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
The red team is given a knife and has to find and kill all the blue team members. If they fail, they will be killed instead. Before the game begins, a player is allowed to switch teams with a willing member of the opposing team. The blue team includes Yeon-sik, Hyun-ju, Myungi, Daeho, the shaman, and player 100. The red team includes Gwamja, Jun-hee, Gi-hun, Minsu, and player 124. Meanwhile, the mercenaries bring in a new drone operator. To keep its cover, Captain Park insists on everyone wearing a life jacket. Woo-seok backs out, wanting to look into Captain Park instead. Jun-ho thinks he is wasting his time, but is surprised when Captain Park notices Woo-seok's absence and calls him a drunken coward. Some good old team harassment then takes place before the hide-and-seek game. 124 toys with Minsu when he learns the boy hid and watch Sami getting killed. Player 100 tries to switch, but everyone refuses. The shaman claims she knows the perfect hiding spots and even has a couple of followers at her disposal. Myungi tries to switch with Jun-hee, claiming she cannot kill anyone. At first, she is offended. However, he declares that he will kill everyone to save her, and she is eventually convinced. Next, Yeon-sik switches with his mother as she is not a killer, but Gwamja reminds him that she outlived her abusive husband, and she also has her sharp hairpin and won't go down without a fight. Daeho fails to switch with anyone as he makes empty promises of protecting them, and nobody believes a word he says. Gi-hun continues to stare him down the entire time, and frustrated, Daeho eventually confronts him. He insists that the failed rebellion is not his fault, but Gi-hun's instead. A guard has to pull him off Gi-hun, who silently stares, ready to attack like a predator as soon as the games begin. Speaking of which, the game finally does begin, and the blue team are given 2 minutes to hide. Player 100 convinces everyone to find the exit instead of hiding, but people do split up regardless. Junhee, Gwamja and Hyunju team up here as Junhee is in pain. Outside, 124 tells Myunggi that the blue team will put up a fight, which is why they need to team up. Wanting to finish his quota of killing a member and then protecting Junhee, Myunggi eventually agrees. And at the end of episode 1, the 2 minutes are finally up. As the red team enters the arena, Gi-hun claims it is his fault and prepares to hunt down Daeho. So episode 1 gets off to a really strong start here. It has your usual dose of emotional outbursts, confrontations, mind games, death games and team ups. In every scene you're left wondering who will be the betrayer and the betrayed. The characters keep cutting it close and it's we as viewers who are left worrying as we can see the bigger picture start to take shape. Jeonho's headless chicken storyline in the previous season is redeemed a little bit here as Woo-suk shares his concerns about Captain Park while Park tries to put down Woo-suk and Jeonho is left to pick between the two men. No-Yul's storyline comes to a peak as well, with her finally taking action and revealing her true colours to the rest by saving 246, aka Kyung-suk. While there is no complete game in this episode, the build-up is pretty exciting. The mind games that made season 1 so appealing are back, and Young-sik, who once accidentally betrayed his own mother, gets a chance to redeem himself and save her. In the previous season, of course, Myunggi kept trying to protect Junhee, but she refused him. This time though, she puts her life in his hands. But is that the right choice, given he has teamed up with the drugged out 124? I'm sure we'll find out with the episodes ahead. For now though, the pièce de résistance is of course Daeho and Gi-hun's beef. It's still not clear why Daeho chickened out in the previous season, and is it as simple as him being a coward, or is there something more to it, like PTSD from the gunfight, or something else we're not seeing? Gi-hun constantly staring him down was pretty hilarious, and if the him is indeed Daeho and not the frontman, the hunt in the next episode will certainly be very exciting. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.